been your favorite guest at the breakfast table for years and years and years. He makes you laugh, he keeps you informed, and he doesn't steal the cornflakes.
Excuse me. Sorry.
It's time for the Morning Wake Up with Steve Shetler.
Hey, a good morning to you on this Thursday, January 18th. It's time for the Morning Wake Up here on Steve Shetler Media. I'm Steve, hanging out with you on this Thursday. Hey, let's get a look at our forecast for today. It's brought to us by our friends at the Garden Gate. They're located at 105 South Jefferson in Sigourney. Call 641-622-3191. And talk to Cindy and the gals, Danny and Madonna and everybody up at the Garden Gate. They're up there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturdays, 9 to noon. Get some fresh floral arrangements, jewelry, home decor, sympathy gifts. They got something for everyone. They can also get you ready for Valentine's Day. We're under a month away from Valentine's Day, so get your orders in at the Garden Gate in Sigourney. Our forecast for today... man, why? Why does the weather keep happening? Winter weather advisory in effect from 3 p.m. today, and that will go through 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. Also, a wind chill advisory goes into effect, let's see here, overnight tonight at 3 a.m. till noon tomorrow. So a little bit of snow today, accumulation less than an inch. That's mainly after 3 p.m., a high around 20. Tonight, snow 1 to 2 inches. That's mainly before 10 p.m. So that 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. time frame is what we're looking at for snow tonight. Areas of blowing snow tonight and a low of 4 below. 1 to 2 inches a possibility for tonight. Tomorrow, areas of blowing snow, partly sunny and cold, a high of 4. Northwest winds could gust up to 30 miles per hour tomorrow, making things much, much colder. Wind chills about 25 below tomorrow. Clear skies tomorrow night. Look at that. Why? Why does this keep happening? A low of 14 below tomorrow night. Wind chills about 30 below. Saturday, sunny and cold, a high of 2. And looking at some stuff from the National Weather Service, they say for the winter weather advisory, snow expected. Again, could see a few inches, maybe 1 to 2, possibly up to 4 inches of snow in spots of southeast Iowa. And wind chills well below 0. That's for portions of east central, northeast, and southeast Iowa and northeast Missouri. The winter weather advisory from 3 p.m. to 9 a.m. Wind chill advisory from 3 a.m. to noon tomorrow. National Weather Service says plan on slippery road conditions. Areas of blowing snow could reduce visibility. Hazardous conditions could impact this evening and also tomorrow morning commutes. Additional headlines for wind chills may be needed for Friday night into the weekend. So slow down here over the next 24 to 48 hours. Slow down and use caution while driving. Use caution while traveling outside. Wear appropriate clothing, hat, and gloves. If you need travel information, call 911, go to their website, go to their app. 511 is your place to go for travel info. Let's see here. Current conditions here in southeast Iowa. We've got wind speeds east at about 5 miles per hour. The old barometric pressure at 29.97. And right now we have 18 degrees above zero. Obviously, that's going to be falling tonight and through tomorrow and tomorrow night into Saturday. So more snow, more cold here in southeast Iowa. Your weather brought to us by the Garden Gate in Sigourney. We are doing the morning wake up here on Steve Shetler Media. Hopefully you tuned in last night for the Sigourney City Council meeting. Some interesting stuff there. Let's see here. Coming up later on today here on Steve Shetler Media, we've got the In Remembrance Of video at 8 a.m. We will have the Public Library, Sigourney Public Library video at 10 a.m. We'll check in with Laura DeCook at Mahaska County Conservation with the Great Outdoors at 4 p.m. Also, later on this evening, we'll have our weekly pet from the Heartland Humane Society. And let's bring this graphic up. Let's get my stuff out of the way here. Tonight, we're also going to be debuting a new program here on Steve Shetler Media. It's called Morgan You Asked For. So play on words there for a sports and more podcast. Now, it's put together by Ryan Morgan from Oskaloosa and his buddy Trevor Voss. Ryan and Trevor are your co-hosts for Morgan You Asked For. If you like sports talk, we're going to have some of that tonight. They do a full podcast. We're going to give you kind of half of that, the first half of that podcast, and then you can find the rest and help out Ryan and Trevor by finding them on their outlets online where you can get your podcasts online. So Morgan You Asked For, Sports and More podcast, that'll debut at 7 p.m. this evening. Make sure you tune in, listen in. Should be some good stuff. Another new program here on Steve Shetler Media. Now, coming up tomorrow, that guy right there, assuming the weather will allow, Luke Stutzman. He will be our featured artist on the Iowa Music Showcase, and that'll be live at Barnwired tomorrow from 11:30 to noon. He'll bring us some original music. We'll do a live interview and get to know Luke Stutzman. I've never met Luke, so I'm interested. Going to have fun with Luke Stutzman, 30 to noon at Barnwired in Sigourney. Of course, also coming up this weekend, we'll have our sports section coaches show live at Brothers Market at 8 a.m., so tune in for that. We'll have some of our coaches and athletes from around our viewership area here in Southeast Iowa. And Amy's is at 202 North Main in Sigourney. Call or text for an appointment at 641-622-3772. And the question that we're going to pose to you today is, how many times a day do you check your email? I tell you what, for me, it is a lot. I check my email and my phone constantly. It drives my wife crazy. It kind of drives me crazy, to be honest with you, checking my phone. But how many times a day do you check your email? That'll be our question for the day, brought to us by Amy's Salon House and Spa. Again, that'll be posted on my Facebook page on Steve Shetler Media right around noon today, so make sure you tune in then. Of course, we're broadcasting live with the Morning Wake Up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. So follow and subscribe and like all of my outlets there on social media. We're doing the Morning Wake Up here on Steve Shetler Media. Good morning to you, Sherry. We've got Amber and Jackie all tuned in. We've got a few more people tuned in this morning. Thank you all for checking things out. Let's do some celebrity birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And you, 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 and you. All right. Got some birthdays for today. Celebrity birthdays. Film director John Boorman. He's done such films as Deliverance and Exorcist 2. John Boorman is 91. He's the old guy on our celebrity list for today. Other celebrity birthdays, Kevin Costner, turning 69 years old. We've got country singer Mark Colley. He had a couple of hits back in the 90s, turning 68 years old. Actress Allison Arngrim. Does that name ring a bell? Again, she's an actress. Allison Arngrim. Allison was Nellie on Little House on the Prairie. Way back when. So Nellie turning 62. Again, Nellie from Little House on the Prairie. Not the rapper or singer Nellie. Don't get confused there. Let's see here. Other birthdays for today. Dave Attell is 59 years old, comedian. We've got Dave Bautista, former pro wrestler and now huge actor for Guardians of the Galaxy, Dax the Destroyer, turning 55 years old. We've got singer Jonathan Davis from the rock group Korn, turning 53. Brazilian auto racer Christian Fittipaldi, turning 53 years old today. Actor Jason Segel turns 44. Those are your celebrity birthdays for this Thursday, January 18th. What happened on this date in history? It was today back in 1644. The Pilgrims reported the very first UFO sighting in North America. Again, you wonder how we know that. I don't know how we know that. Evidently, they must have wrote it down somewhere. We saw a UFO. So Pilgrims back in 1644 sighting the very first UFO. It was today, 1778, on this date in history. Captain James Cook discovered the Hawaiian Islands, which he at the time called the Sandwich Islands. So the Hawaiian Islands back in 1778. It was today, on this date in 1939, Jeepers Creepers. 1939, Louis Armstrong and his orchestra recorded Jeepers Creepers. 1939. Where'd you get those peepers? Today is, on this date on the National Day calendar, today is Peking Duck Day. Like Peking, like Peking. Peking Duck Day. So if you see a Peking duck, give it a hug in celebration of its day today. It's also National Gourmet Coffee Day. It's National Maintenance Day. It's Winnie the Pooh Day. It's also Museum Selfie Day. So if you are in a museum, make sure you take a selfie. And it's Thesaurus Day. EV for me to say that it's the fourth day. It's Thesaurus Day. So celebrate the thesaurus. Let's see here. What other days? What things we got going on this morning? Things you need to know. By the way, good morning to you, Sandy, Deb, Rosemary, Wendy, and Eloise. Let's see here. Things you need to know today. Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, had planned abdominal surgery this week and will be hospitalized for a couple of weeks. We'll stay with the rich, as King Charles will have surgery next week on an enlarged prostate. So King Charles and his prostate. Let's see here. Football. Packers-Cowboys game brought in 43.4 million viewers late on Sunday afternoon. So big numbers there. Speaking of football, Eagles center Jason Kelce, the other Kelce brother, the one that's not dating Taylor Swift. Jason Kelce says that he's not retiring just yet. Those rumors were out there. He says he wants to go out on a more intentional note and not after a loss. So Jason Kelce will be back. Maybe Taylor Swift can hook Jason Kelce up. Maybe Jason's already married and I just don't know it. Let's see here. Politics. ABC. They were wanting to host a Republican candidates debate tonight, but they have canceled it. Nikki Haley said that she wouldn't show up unless Donald Trump took part. And he wasn't planning on it. Donald's not going to take part in any sort of debates. So if Nikki Haley wasn't going to be there and Donald Trump wasn't going to be there, it would have been Ron DeSantis all by himself. That wouldn't have been very interesting. Other stuff you need to know. A new study claims that man boobs, they increase your risk of an early death. So, fellas, got to do some exercises. Get rid of the man boobs. Aldi. Let's go to grocery shopping. The Aldi grocery chain says they're no longer going to give you the option to use plastic grocery bags. Everything is going to be paper from here on. So, didn't they do away? All the grocery stores did away with paper bags a long time ago, and now they're saying at Aldi that that's the only way to go. Good morning to you, Renee, Nancy, Nick, Kurt and Kathy, Pat. Thanks to everybody for tuning in this morning on a Thursday. Things you need to know. This is sad. This is actually really sad. One of the last acts of one of the 4 people killed in a hot air balloon crash last weekend in Michigan actually managed to text his girlfriend as they were going down. The text was, "I love you, goodbye." So a hot air balloon crash in Michigan. Somebody got a text out. My dad and I, and it is a long time ago, probably 30 years ago, my dad and I took a hot air balloon ride across Sigourney, over the skies of Sigourney. It was pretty cool. If you had the opportunity, it's a pretty neat experience. But yeah, not so neat for those folks in Michigan. Other things you need to know: Pauly Shore, buddy. Pauly Shore getting ready to sweat to the oldies. The actor and comedian will play the role of fitness icon Richard Simmons in a new biopic movie. So, again, Pauly Shore as Richard Simmons. Lorne Michaels, he says that, when he does finally retire from Saturday Night Live, that Tina Fey could easily step in and take over. So, we'll see if that happens in the future. How about this? 4 new species of octopus, octopi, my octopus friend, were discovered in the waters off of Costa Rica. Again, that's 4 new species of octopus. So all this time, and we're just now discovering 4 new species of octopus. Isn't that crazy? Because that, ladies and gentlemen, gives me hope that Bigfoot is still out there and undiscovered. If we can get this far into life and just now be discovering certain types of octopus, there is still a chance for Bigfoot. Go Bigfoot. Entertainment news: Timothy Chalamet. Timothy with an E-E at the end. It's not just a regular Timothy with a Y, it's a Timothy. Timothy Chalamet is said to have been out diamond ring shopping. Kylie Jenner might be in mind. Biden administration actually doing a good thing. They are proposing a cap on bank overdraft fees. They are proposing something like $3. And right now, overdraft fees can be as high as $39. So we'll see if that happens. How about this? China's population shrank last year for the 2nd year in a row. Interesting. And then colon cancer is the deadliest cancer for men under the age of 50 and the 2nd deadliest cancer among women in the same age group, right behind breast cancer. So got to look out for the colon cancer. Good morning to you, Barb. Let's see here, Dixie. Thank you all for tuning in this morning. Things you need to know, we're still in that. Coachella, is that how you say that? The Coachella Music Festival for this year. The lineup has been revealed. Headliners include Lana Del Rey and Tyler, the Creator. He'll be creating some music. And then No Doubt, yes, the Gwen Stefani group from way back when, getting back together. How much money did that take? They were just throwing money at Gwen Stefani and No Doubt to get back together. So that will be happening. They went their separate ways about 9 years ago. So No Doubt returning with Gwen Stefani at Coachella. That comes up in April. Let's see here. It is time for today's Impossible Question. Today's impossible question: 24% of women, basically a quarter of women, say that this inspires them to lose weight. What do you think that is? 24% of women say this inspires them to lose weight. It's comments from their kids. So maybe the kids are just innocently saying, "Hey, mommy, mama." That inspires them to lose weight. Yeah, that's your impossible question. Let's do something weird.
That is weird.
In some weird news, let's go to the Smashing Pumpkins rock band. Smashing Pumpkins. Jeff Schroeder recently left the Pumpkins after more than 15 years. leaving the rock band short one guitarist. Now, they certainly have plenty of people interested in the gig. I might have to apply. I'm really good at air guitar solo. They put out a call for a new band member earlier this month. The group has been inundated with applications, according to Billboard magazine, as Smashing Pumpkins on Twitter saying that the band has received over 10,000 submissions to be their new lead guitarist. They note that they've had to recruit 8 staffers to work full-time to sift through the pile. So maybe 1 out of 10,000 will stick with the Smashing Pumpkins. Other stuff. Brother. Retired wrestler Hulk Hogan and a friend rescued a teenage girl who was trapped in an overturned vehicle after a crash in Florida, according to Hulk's social media posts. Hogan said on the social media platform X that he used a ballpoint pen, brother, to puncture the car's airbag, brother, and dude, they freed the girl after witnessing the accident Sunday night in Tampa. Now, his new wife, Sky Daly, took to Facebook to praise the action taken by her 70-year-old husband, the Hulkster, and his friend Jake Rask. She says, "Last night we left dinner in Tampa. We saw a car flipped in front of us." She says, "I truly admire my husband Hulk Hogan and good buddy Jake Rask for springing into action." And goes on to say, by all appearances, she was unscathed, just really rattled, which is an absolute miracle. Now, Hulk, whose real name is Terry Bollea, brother, lives in the Tampa Bay area. Now, in his full Twitter post, he says, "Brother, the crazy part about the teenager that flipped her car was that without a knife, dude, to puncture the airbags to get her out, brother, and Indian Rock's Christian ballpoint pen, and the 24-inch pythons came in really handy, brother, to pop the bags, dude. And let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Thank you, God. All is well even now. Amen. HH, brother." Well, he kind of said that. He said that without all the stuff that I added. So, Hulk. I've got an autographed picture of Hulk Hogan on my wall over here. I'm a Hulk fan. Way to go, Hulk, brother. Some other weird news.
That is weird.
Let's see here. Weird news. A man who escaped police custody in Memphis during inclement weather reportedly turned himself back into custody within an hour. Sunday night, Memphis police said they were told around 10 p.m. that 20-year-old DeMarcus Davis had escaped custody from another agency, and by 10:35 p.m., he asked a civilian to call police so that he could go back to jail. Evidently, he didn't like it out in the snow and in the bad weather. He had nowhere to go, so he wanted to go back to jail. Such a stupid story. A Connecticut man facing a number of charges after neighbors complained to police that he dug up their yard and claimed that they were pirates. His name is Mark Uterstadt. He's 62 years old, was charged with risk of injury, second-degree threatening, fourth-degree criminal mischief, breach of peace, and simple trespass. Evidently, he was digging up his neighbor's yard. I don't know if he thought that they had, treasure in their yard, but he was calling his neighbors pirates. They weren't pirates. There was no treasure. He went to jail. How about man versus coyote? South Carolina man recovering after taking on a coyote that went after his dog over the weekend. You know, I have thought about this scenario myself because we live by the Legion Park in Sigourney, so we're kind of in a woodsy area, and we have a couple of small dogs, and I've often wondered at night as I'm walking around with my dogs, what would I do if a coyote or a bobcat or a mountain lion decided to come after it. And it was all caught on camera. His name is Timothy Snipe of Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. He said he was holding his little chihuahua, Roxy, who was wanting some Taco Bell. No, I made that part up. He was holding his little chihuahua, Roxy, a lot tighter these days after they were attacked by the wild animals. Snipe told the news that the frightening encounter happened early Saturday as he was still in his red bathroom. That had to be or bathrobe, I should say. That was quite the video. I'll have to look this up. As he let Roxy outside in the fenced-in yard for a bathroom break, he says that Roxy started barking and was wondering what the dog was barking at. Security video shows that Snipe was running after his dog Roxy when a coyote jumped the fence, jumped on him, bit him on the leg, and then the guy wrestled the coyote down and choked him out. And so the coyote passed out. The guy picked up the limp dog and threw it in the dumpster, slammed the lid down. And the coyote it was still alive, actually, at that time. I'm not saying that it is now. At the time, it was still alive. But yeah, a guy doing some mixed martial arts and choking out a coyote to save his little chihuahua dog. Hey, Renee, God bless you, Renee. Wow, sending me 500 stars. I really appreciate that. As we mentioned here on the mornings, I don't want to push it, but if you guys have stars to send me, if you look at your phone and you see in one of the corners, I think it's in one of the corners where you have the option to send stars, push that button. Basically, 500 stars, like Renee just sent, means that she has tipped me $5. 100 stars is $1. So, Renee, thank you. I really appreciate that. Good morning to you, Melissa, Sherry, Jim, Michelle. I got to catch up on some of these good mornings. Renee, Jan, and Brushed by Jude. Good morning to you. Glad to have everybody hanging out with me on this Thursday morning. Let's do one more weird story. Let's go to Kentucky. Cue the music. A Kentucky Republican, what in the world, has introduced legislation that would amend the state's law so a person who had sex with their first cousin would no longer be criminally liable for incest. That kind of tells you where the world's at. You can get somebody other than your cousin to go out with you in Kentucky. Come on, man. Don't kiss your cousin. Gross. Let's see here. Oh, and then one other story that isn't quite so gross. Cousins. Come on. In Japan, scientists have captured plants communicating with each other on video. We're dead. If the AI doesn't get us, the plants will. What was that one stupid movie? Mark Wahlberg starred in a M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie here several years ago. It was one of the stupidest movies I have ever seen. It was supposed to be a scary movie, and it was dumb. Where the wind and the plants turn against the people and makes the people kill themselves. Shows this one guy laying down in front of his riding lawnmower and getting hacked up. It's just dumb. But now it's going to happen because the plants are actually talking to each other. Where am I? I've lost track. Don't need to do that. Just in case you wondered in case you were wondering who's making a lot of money, Walmart is. The list out for corporate profits by company for 2023. Walmart making $155 billion last year. Apple was $97 billion. And Verizon, nearly $79 million. So congratulations to all you folks making those billions. Let's do the files of law and disorder. Let's go to Britain. I'm going to see if I can do a horrible British accent for you. I don't know. A man accused of faking his death and fleeing the U.S. to avoid rape charges in Utah denied at a court appearance on Tuesday that he is the suspect, and in an apparent British accent, called allegations that he wasn't giving his true name complete heresy. I'm trying to think in my brain how to do a great British accent, but it's not coming to me. I apologize. His name is Nicholas Rossi. His legal name is Nicholas Alaverdian. He is charged with rape of a 21-year-old in Utah. He's now claiming he isn't that guy and is British with a British accent. So, good luck on that. Also, you may have seen this making the rounds on social media lately. As it's no joke, humorous and quirky messages on electronic signs along highways and freeways will be disappearing. The U.S. Federal Highway Administration has given states 2 years to implement all the changes outlined in their new manual. So no more funny messages along the You know how if you're driving and you'll look up and you'll see the electronic message boards along the highways and they would give funny messages? Evidently, they can't do that anymore. Fun haters. Fun haters. In some good news, let's go to ballet. That's me doing my ballet. The Oklahoma City Ballet, known for its dazzling performances by its artists around the world, it also provides an outlet for elderly people. This is kind of neat. Who are looking to put a little pep in their step or maintain their health. Now, in 2016, the Oklahoma City Ballet launched its Golden Swans program, which offers free ballet lessons to seniors in the city. And then in 2017, they offered Dance for Parkinson's, which offers lessons to people diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. So that's kind of a cool thing. You might want to look that up online and get a little bit more information. Oklahoma City Ballet doing some nice stuff there. And finally today, in some... Duh. By the way, yes, Renee, The Happening. What a dumb movie. Let's see here. Moment of duh today. And it's right here in Iowa. As, of course, the weather here in Iowa has been stupid. And if you're looking at our forecast today from the Garden Gate, it continues to be stupid. We'll recap our weather here in a moment. But first, sub-zero temps, blizzard conditions, wreaking havoc on the caucuses on Monday, forcing candidates to cancel events and threatening to keep voters home. Uncomfortable and inconvenient conditions, obviously not unusual this time of year in Iowa, but that fact is not stopping far-right activist and Trump supporter Laura Loomer from insisting that they are actually part of a sinister government agenda. Can we hit the duh again?
Duh.
Laura Loomer on X explaining how the deep state is harnessing its Queen Elsa-like powers to orchestrate the storm for nefarious political purposes. So she's saying the government, which I don't doubt that the government can tweak the weather, but she says, is the deep state activating HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, HAARP, to disrupt the Iowa caucus. She goes on to say, we all know Nikki Haley has a lot of friends in the defense industry and military-industrial complex. She's losing in Iowa, and now Iowa is set to get hit with a once-in-a-decade blizzard as Donald Trump is set to dominate the Iowa caucus. So she thinks that the government, that the military messed with the weather to mess with the caucuses here in Iowa on Monday. Don't know about that. Let's get a look at our forecast once again, as it's brought to us by the Garden Gate. Winter weather advisory from 3 p.m. today till 9 a.m. tomorrow. Wind chill advisory from 3 a.m. overnight tonight until noon tomorrow. Accumulation less than a snow for today, maybe 1 to 2 inches tonight, maybe a little bit more snow and blowing snow tomorrow, and then back into the deep freeze. What's up with that? What you talking about, Willis? This weather sucks. I am done with this weather. Also, keep in mind, along with our normal programming today here on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, we'll be debuting Morgan You Asked For. It's a play on words. Ryan Morgan from Oskaloosa, Iowa. He's got his Sports and More podcast along with his friend Trevor Voss. Ryan and Trevor will be talking sports and other things tonight. We'll debut that at 7 p.m. this evening. Morgan You Asked For. Sports Talk coming up tonight here on Steve Shetler Media. Glad to have Ryan along for the ride here on Steve Shetler Media. You know, we debuted the Pro Wrestling podcast earlier this week with Cards Subject to Change. Also, I was teasing that we'll be having some local racing coverage coming up this spring and summer here on Steve Shetler Media. And now tonight, the Sports and More podcast coming up at 7. So, yeah, just continuing to give you things, new and exciting things here on Steve Shetler Media. We continue to have a lot of fun. Hopefully you saw the pictures that I put up yesterday as my buddy Neil Crott and I took a little journey over to that Keota curve between, it's right around the Kinross area on Highway 22. If you head from Sigourney towards Wellman, it's the curve. We had to go see that wall of snow that I shared pictures of earlier this week from my friend Kristen Pfeiffer, who had shared some pictures online. You saw that massive wall of snow on that curve on Highway 22. Neil and I had to go over yesterday and take a picture of it. So it was very dangerous. Literally, because it's on a curve. So we had to make sure nobody was coming behind us before we jumped out and took a quick picture with me standing by the wall of snow. And nobody was coming, so we got the picture, jumped back in the car, took off. So if you want to see those pictures, and it kind of puts things into perspective, how big that wall of snow is over by the Kinross area, that curve on Highway 22. Check those out. Those are posted from last night here on Steve Shetler Media. All right, you guys have a great day. Be safe. Stay warm. Watch out for a little bit more snow. And definitely watch out for a lot more cold coming our way here over the next few days. That'll do it for the morning wake up here from Shetler Studios in big old Sigourney, Iowa. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.